Hello and welcome back to the PRL podcast. Apologies, this week's episode is going to be a late upload. Me and Gary have both been very busy this week. But as you might have guessed, a similar trend as recent weeks. Mitch is not here tonight. He is currently occupied elsewhere. But I'm glad to say, like recent weeks, we have Mark with us today. How are you two doing?
All good.
Good, yeah.
Good to hear. Right, let's crack on. Start with Bahrain. I've got the results in front of me. Start with Division 1, as always. And yeah, I will... Should I run through the quali? Yeah, I'll run through the top 10 in quali. So in quali we had Harry with a 27.2, an absolutely blistering lap.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
5/10 clear of second place, Doom. You then had Own in third, a great quali from him. Neo,
Really good.
Falcon, Cosmic Gwil, I'm not sure how to say his name, but good show from him, first showing. Decky in 7th, Michael in 8th, Kara in 9th, and Smithy, myself, in 10th. But important to mention is from second place Doom, who did a 27.7, down to 18th placed Adam, or F1 Racer, who did a 28.6. That's only 9/10 separating 17 drivers, which is actually phenomenal, to be fair. Yes, a lot of drivers messed up their laps in the top half, some of them, but it just shows like one mistake could drop you 4 places depending on how big it is.
Yeah, it's so close.
So
That's how it should be, though.
yeah, that was a really intense quali, and that was great to take part in. But moving on to the race, we had a surprise winner. I don't think anyone would have predicted it. Neo won the race, his first win of the season, and only in the second race, so he is over the moon. I have spoke to him. And yeah, Gary, I'm not sure what you think about this.
Well, he needed to win, didn't he, after Australia and Malaysia in the pre-race?
True, yeah.
Like, 2 very bad races. Then he took his opportunity. He probably didn't have the pace to win, but with accidents in front of him, he was there to capitalise.
Yeah, he was. I think it's probably a weight off his shoulder, because I think he wants to win a race. I think he considers himself for the title. I think I'd consider him an outsider for the title. I wouldn't say he's the favourite, but if he can just pick up regular podiums, he could definitely be up there. Then we have in second, we have Michael, who it was notable that his pace definitely wasn't where it usually is, but like not quite like Neo, but similar fashion, he just kept it clean, didn't do anything wrong, and it was a good drive from him. But surely our driver of the day, Own, 3rd place, first podium in PRL. Brilliant drive, brilliant quali.
Did not see it coming.
No one saw it coming. No one saw it coming. Fantastic drive by him. And he proved the McLaren isn't as bad as I thought it was, which is irritating.
McLaren's still bad.
Irritating.
McLaren's still bad.
I mean, I got a podium in it, so it can't be that bad. And then we had Karen 4th, it was good recovery by him. We had Doom in 5th, Killer 6th, another great finish by him. Myself in 7th, Rick and Gary 8th and 9th. Sauber getting both cars in the points. Agony in 10th, and then we had Maxi 11th, Cabrera, a new driver, in 12th, Jari in 13th, Adam in 14th, and rounding out the finishers we had Falcon in 15th. So the topics of the race are Decky, an uncharacteristic mistake. What do you think, Gary, and Mark? What do you think of that?
Surprised. Very. Since he's been in this league, I don't think he's made any, if any, mistakes.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%.
First he spins, then he gets the puncher. No points. Pressure's really on him now.
I mean, yeah. Go on, Mark. Go on.
It's kind of like what I said before. That again, I don't see tons of it. I'm not actively involved in it, but in the pre-season, he was predicting to come 3rd or 4th, and I thought this is self-fulfilling prophecy. It's almost like he's expecting to not do as well, and I find that bizarre. If I win the league, I'm probably turning around and saying, "You lot are going to be done by Belgium."
Like there's no cockiness.
No, it's funny because Decky is quite this like character. He's very confident in himself, so it's unusual to see him predicting himself outside of 1st and 2nd. But this mistake, like maybe it's just German efficiency, but Decky never makes mistakes. He never
He's
bottles
never made a
quali.
mistake.
He never does anything. But he spun. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Mark, but he spun on lap 4. No one was near him. No one touched him, and he just spun. Fortunately, he didn't get damaged, and I think in kind of a panic / joke, he went on the softs to try and redeem himself. It obviously didn't work out because he could have still got 6th or 5th. I think he might have even got 4th because Kara was only
Kara doing 2 stuff
shortly in front of Doom and Killer, which was where Decky was when he spun. So I think Decky will be silently kicking himself. I don't think he'll tell anyone. He'll pretend like he doesn't care. But that wasn't a good point. Any things you think about the race, Gary? Any other important points?
Well, Owen getting the podium wasn't expected at all. Is it a fluke? Was it? Well, it probably wasn't a fluke, but can he repeat it?
Yeah.
Is he just good at this track?
I think it was because I actually spoke to him recently. I found out he's on the pad. I always thought he was on the wheel. He's a no assist driver as well, so credit to him. But Bahrain, I'm sure, as all of us are pad users here, we can say it's a very nice track. I don't think there's any advantage to the wheel.
No, there isn't.
It's like in terms of skill required to drive the track, it's probably one of the least requiring. Like there's not that many demanding sections to it, so the skill gap is very small, and that's why we had a brilliant race in D1. To be fair, Gary, you had a great points finish as well.
Agni for 29 laps and then crashed in the last corner.
I bet you're kind of sad to see that in a way.
I was sad and happy. I was like, I wanted to overtake him, but then he just crashed. So I was like, okay, we'll take 9th.
I guess that's worth mentioning actually. Agony getting in the points. That must have been his first point in quite a long time, which is good to see.
Gary was holding us all up.
Don't.
5-man train. I was like,
God. I was in
what's
that
happening
train.
here? Yeah, so I was like, what's happening here? I was just at the back, and and he did well. He had a good pace, and hopefully he can build on this now and start scoring more points.
Replicate it. Yeah. So I think that rounds up our race weekend recap. Let's move on to Spain. And I've spoke to both of you individually. I think collectively this is our worst track as like commentators of the podcast. I hate it. Mark, you said you don't like it. Gary, I know you detest this track.
I do not like it.
I mean, if let's practice. I've been in a fair few sessions, I won't lie. And Decky looks fast. One guy who looks mega quick is Lewis W03. He is a reserve. He should be able to race. I doubt all 20 drivers will turn up. But it'd be a shame if he didn't, because he is #1 in the world around this track in the dry. And he's very fast at it. Yeah, he is ridiculous at this track.
Yeah, I'm busy on Saturday night, sorry.
Do you know what I like about him as well is that he gets involved in the chat and he's made his own he keeps pressing people to include the rapid reserves.
No, it's always great to see people getting involved in the chats, because as much as it's like you want to race, you want to have fun, you also make friends in the league.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't make friends in the league if you didn't talk in the chats and stuff. So that's good to see. As far as me predicting a top 3, a top 10, God knows, the field in D1 is so competitive right now. It's like pulling names out of a hat. But a top 3, I'm going to say, if Lewis races, Lewis will win. Oh no, actually, no. Carroll will win at his home Grand Prix. If there's a time he's going to win.
The whole fans.
I reckon Cara, Falcon, Jew. And if Lewis races, I think Lewis will get 2nd and Falcon will get 3rd. Because Falcon looks really fast. And I know I don't know, I think he's got a bit of motivation for this race. I don't know where he's found it from. But it'd be foolish to
had a disappointing race.
Yeah, very. But it'd be foolish to rule out Michael leading the championship, let's not forget.
Decky.
Oh, and Decky. There's so many names. There's Harry as well. I mean, Harry will
Neo as well.
So,
go on and on. Eventually you get to me.
If you had to predict a top 3, what would you two predict?
Top 3, I will say Cara, I will also say, I think Decky will get second.
Oh.
And third place, I'll say Louis if he races. If not, June.
Okay. Okay. Mark, do you have any inkling?
Knowing Yari and how good he is around wheel tracks.
Do not
I
say
think...
Yari's going to get on the podium.
No. Oh, man, maybe this is my D2 spectacles, I suppose. But I have a horrible feeling. Basically, I think this track causes a lot of issue into T1. So I think this isn't going to be as easy as a lot of people think.
It's much like Australia's turn one. Really tapers up.
It is.
And yeah, let's not
But
talk
it's slippier.
about that.
but it seems to be the whole
curbs are
track.
horrible. The curbs are
Yeah.
horrible.
Oh my days.
I touch them and I lose the car. Like, I swear it's not just me being bad at the game. I swear
Yeah,
the
turn
curbs
three.
are just
Turn
bad.
three. If you touch that curb, you're racing.
You've got
you're a goner.
If you touch that green like pit of doom,
Astro
you
turf.
are.
Yeah, I did it last season.
You did it right in front of me. I remember.
Yeah, I remember you
clear
started
as day.
screaming.
So yeah.
I think the funny thing is with my predictions is that I think, and it's a testament to D1 at the moment, is I could probably just roll my head in a keyboard out of the top 10 because everyone just seems everyone's either got a point to prove, they're leading the championship even though they're not favourite, or there's so many vibes going on in it that I can't really guess. I've got no right to guess, but I'm gonna say Louis because.
Okay.
Yeah, I like how involved he is. I'm a fan of him. So go on.
Yeah, just back to what you said. I'm just looking now. Out of the two, I know it's only been 2 races, but out of the 6 possible podium finishers, there have been 5 different podium finishers.
Wow.
Only Michael has been on the podium twice. Otherwise, we've had 5 different ones, which is absolutely great to see. It really keeps the league unpredictable.
Keeps it fresh.
Yeah. So I guess this seems a suitable time to move on to Division 2, your own domain, Mark, as it would be. But unfortunately, you weren't there, were you?
No. I had a really unfortunate incident.
Podium.
I had an
next
unfortunate...
season.
They're probably going to get rid of it for 2018 last minute or something. No, unfortunately, I was in the Peak District, being treated to a surprise weekend. I was quite livid. If it was Monaco, I'd have been probably literally running up the hills, which is what I was doing. But I was actually absolutely gutted to not be there, especially seeing how appalling most of the strategies were. So
yeah, we'll touch on that a bit later. That's quite a conversation topic we've got coming up. But I will sum up the top 10 in quali. We had V5 getting pole, no surprise there, very quick driver. And great to see we had the new reserve Kalik, a Finnish driver who came second, which is brilliant. It's good to see him getting involved in the league. We had Army Tricks in third, Waluigi in fourth, who's continuing his good run so far. Tiggerby in fifth with his teammate Jammers in sixth. We had Robertson seventh, Mike in eighth, Stygian Kuistra 201 in ninth. I've completely butchered his name. And then we had Dave doing his classic qualifying on the soft tyre in 10th place.
Classic Dave.
And yeah, so that rounds out the top 10. And moving on to the race, we had Waluigi getting his first win, which is brilliant to see. His first win. And yeah, it looked like a good race. V5, I've watched his video. He finished third. He had a horrific start. Kalik kind of lost it, and it just had this knock-on effect on him, and he ended up P5, and then went on an awful strategy by accident.
Oh, we'll get to that.
We'll
like
get
everyone
to
else.
that. Yeah. Kalik, a great finish from him in second. Then we had Dave in fourth, pulling his wily old one-stop strategy as always. We had Steve-O in fifth. He started outside the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, so that was good from him.
He started 18th. Fair play to him.
Wow, fair. We had Stygian, I'm just going to call him that from now on, in sixth. So that was good point haul from him. I think he got unlucky in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Then we had a new driver, Car Cannon, in 7th, so that's 2 back-to-back Dutch drivers. Then we had Robertson in 8th, Yugi in 9th, and Permoy in 10th, followed by Aaron, Tiggerby, who rounded out the finishing drivers. Then we had Maka, Mike, Army, Cristiano, Ibo, and Jamez, who all did not finish the race. So I think it seems suitable. We've been kind of touched on it a little. Let's talk about the strategies. I know you're very passionate about these strategies, Mark. What is your take on this sort of stuff?
What I think people have done is that they've been looking at the time trial, been getting very obsessed with it, and doing 100% on throttle differential, which absolutely ruins your tyres, to my knowledge. And I think as a race strategy, I think people should have lowered it and done the one stop. And I think looking at what people have done, everyone was struggling. This is what I loved about this race, is that everyone was struggling to do a one stop. It was always going to be a bit of a battle to do a one stop, but because it was a bit of a battle, people decided to do a 2, and it was just so silly. It's just like, manage your tyres a bit, manage. I don't know what you guys think. For me, I think the big thing around here is throttle control.
Yeah, no.
Out of the corners.
I've moved on to no traction recently, and I can verify it. Bahrain has so many traction zones, and personally, I'm quite good on my tyres, whatever my setup is, so I didn't struggle with the one stop. But
No,
I know a lot.
Well,
I know a lot of
anyway,
drivers did struggle with it. I mean, even if they didn't struggle, it is on the limit. You are going to be on that 75% territory.
Just take the risk.
I think it's so much faster than the 2-stop. I don't see why in the right mind you would do the 2-stop.
Kara's the fastest guy, arguably, on PS4. He did 2-stop. He couldn't make the time back up.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see how many guys did 2 laps on each of this. On each of the starting tyres.
If they're doing that, then that's.
If you're doing 2 runs in quali, that's probably why people struggle to do it. You should not be. It's an easy track
do the slowest
to
possible
not invalidate.
Out lap, do your hot lap, and then the slowest possible in lap.
Like in quali, there's no real place to cut, is there? I mean, maybe turn 2, but like really, you should be getting a lap in. And no offense to some of the drivers in D2, but the quali isn't as close. If you lose a 10th or 2 in one corner, it probably at max will only cost you 1 place. It's not quite the same situation as D1, so there's a bit less pressure on in that sense. But we did talk about this just before we started filming this podcast, but in D2, out of the top 10, there were only 4 drivers who did a one stop. 3 of them came in the top 4, and that kind of says it all about how the one stop was faster. The top 2 drivers, first and second, both did a one stop. Somehow Robertson pulled off a 3 stop. I'm not sure if that was tyre wear or if that was damage, but yeah, kudos to you. And
it's a trend though in D2, isn't it?
It is.
Doing
we said
stops or whatever.
We talked about it in another podcast, didn't we? Like, D2 just sort your strategies out.
I don't know if they're like Mark said, are they just focusing fully on time trial and they're not doing enough race practice to really know what the strat is or how far they can push the tires or whatever. But
I heard that the first time you said it. When you said your guys' strategies are just terrible, I thought, oh okay, let's try doing more one stops. I'm really hoping D2. I'm speaking to you all as a friend that you ignore this advice and you keep doing 2 stops.
Make it 3. Make it 3.
Why not add a 4th one if you're feeling lucky? No, but I think we can both confirm, Gary. Pretty much every track is a one stop.
Yeah.
That's in a way a bit of a sad thing about this game. Last game you saw different strategies, but you can pull off a 2-stop if you're rapid, don't get me wrong. But
sometimes 2 stops quicker, but like
one stop is almost always faster, isn't it?
Yeah, most of the time,
I think what could, obviously I didn't see everyone's races in D2 because you don't all upload it, which is fair enough, but D2 definitely has a lot more carnage in the first lap than D1. So maybe that's why D1 kept on the one stop, because none of them had, well, even if... I know, actually, Gary, your teammate did have damage, didn't he?
He got
battled
damaged,
through it.
first. Yeah, he did a few laps with it. Yeah, he did
I
well.
mean, I respect that, yeah. But so yeah, maybe some of the D2 drivers got to keep it. Maybe pull the Steve-O. Just why not just jump the lights, skip all the carnage.
Adam did it. Adam did it.
That's a point, actually.
Oh yes, we forgot about that. Actually, let me go back to this. So he jumps to start, and he just stops.
No.
He stops.
But that raises my point from the last video. That is the natural inclination of someone that accidentally jumps the lights.
Well, Steve just jumped and went.
Let's not open this court case back up because we could be here for quite a while.
I'm sitting there and he goes, I've jumped to start. I'm sitting on the grid waiting for him to overtake me. He doesn't overtake me. The 5 lights go out and then he's gone. I'm like, what?
Oh, I think I'm not sure whose point of view it was. It might have been yours. Or it might have been someone like Jari who was behind. But I remember seeing his car. It left the box. It stopped. And then it kind of went forward and stopped again. And then he just bolted.
Your video. You overtook here and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, because he was starting so far back. Yeah, and I've left my grid slot and suddenly this Renault's by the side of me. I'm thinking, what?
Oh, that was funny. I forgot about that, actually.
Oh, I completely forgot. But credit to him, he did the right thing in letting people past, or at least had he bolted, he didn't damage.
Are you sure that's what he meant?
He didn't damage anyone's race, which was good to see. But yeah, in terms of more talking points for D2. I'm not sure if you've got anything you want to say, Mark. You might know a bit more about it than us.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose Waluigi is proving to be kind of what I suspected in the pre-race, in the sense of if he started that quick and it was his first ever league and he's winning a race now, I think he could really challenge, which is great.
Is he the new Jari?
I was just about to say, is this reminiscent of...
Isn't this Jari's first league?
Yeah, and Jari didn't start that fast,
he wasn't very. Yeah, it wasn't very quick indeed.
It was Army. It was all about Army and V5.
Yeah.
And then Jari just went for it.
It could be because in the pre-race in Malaysia, he was so scared to overtake James, and he would have absolutely. He should have overtaken about 5-6 times. The only reason why I won that race is because he got stuck behind James. I've no idea why he didn't overtake him. And I think that was nerves. And I think he was probably trying to be polite, because I remember in my first race, I thought, I don't want to hack someone out and get kicked out of the league.
I remember my first race. Blew up
nerves are quite a big thing. I still get nervous in quali and in the race.
Start a race, definitely.
That's sometimes why I love messing up my own race. It's always annoying, but it just takes all the pressure off you, and you just think, well, at least I've got nothing to lose anymore.
Yeah. And I think this is a personal call out to the old guard, because we've seen Naluigi win. We got Kalek come second in a Haas, which apparently doesn't go on the constructors' points, so I'm absolutely livid. We've got obviously V5 and Dave Steve-O doing well. We've got Stein, Carcannon and Yugi and Pamoy getting in the points. Maka, Tigaby,
That's a really good point. That is a really good point.
Let's put them back in their box, can we, please? Come on, lads.
That's a cool. Just looking at the order now, the only drivers who did season 15 and were in the points are Robertson, Steve-O, Dave and V5. That means there's 5 new drivers in the points, so that's great to see in a way. But yeah, come on.
Of course it is. No. In all seriousness, it's great to see. And of course, you know, considering that I absolutely spanked Luigi in the pre-race, I'd have obviously won this race. But no, I wouldn't have. Credit, in all fairness to him, I don't think I'd have come. I think I'd have come 4th in my classic position, if I'm honest.
That's I'll keep that seat.
That's the mark position.
But I genuinely think, in all seriousness, it's great to see new people, and pretty much every single one of these guys as well. I've not seen Kalek, but all of these blokes contribute to the kind of chat and stuff, and that's what we need. We need these guys in. So I still kind of want to see Maka make a resurrection.
I think we
because
all
he's-
do. He is. Oh,
Yeah.
Come on, Mac.
he's in turmoil right now. Just nothing's going right for him. I don't know what he has to do to get it right, but
Get Neo as a teammate again.
yeah, maybe Neo should drop down to D2, and that was the winning combo.
That was the winning combo.
But anyway, that rounds us off nicely from the D2 roundup. Let's move on to Spain. Now you're going to have to take this, Mark, because I haven't practiced with any Division 2 driver. What do you know about people's pace? Who are you predicting? What do you reckon?
Well, Steve fancies himself around here.
Steve always fancies himself.
I was about to. Thanks for taking my next line, Gary. No, but I think it's a wheel track, and I think on that basis, I think Army. I think Calic uses a wheel. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, he does. He does use a wheel. And I know V5 uses a wheel. And so I think those three will be the top three.
Okay.
I'm not sure about Luigi. I fancy perhaps also though. I almost think there's a lot of spins to be had here. I think whoever keeps it really clean is going to be fine. I think Steve-O's the kind of guy to keep it clean. I think Dave's the kind of guy to keep it clean.
Oh, Dave.
So
he is the trusty steed of Division 2, is he not?
So I think, do you know what? I'm going to say Dave as a podium, but
Ooh.
I feel like Kalec, Army, and V5 should get a podium.
Okay.
If things go south, Dave would be there.
Yeah, and I think V5, and I like V5, I get on really well with him, so I'm not calling him out, but I think V5, if there's anyone out of those three that's going to completely stack it on that AstroTurf, it's going to be him. But I hope he doesn't.
No pressure there, V5, just saying, no pressure.
Friends with him, but he's gonna crash.
No, but he knows what I mean. V5's like literally, his races are Marmite. He either smashes them or he smashes himself. So, one of them.
So yeah, if I was to predict a top three, I have checked that because I'm in the D2 chat. I do know Tiggerby is kind of fast round here. I may be wrong, but I'm going to predict Tiggerby on the podium. I think Waluigi has got his motivation. He is locked in. I would say Waluigi will be on the podium, and because I don't know if Calic will race, I'm going to say V5 will win, Tiggerby will come second, and Waluigi will come third. But D2, like last season, it became quite predictable on who would get a podium, like Jari and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but this season, just thinking about it now, it is a lot more unpredictable, which, like Division 1, it's great to see. So, yeah, go for it, Jeremy.
My prediction would be I'm going to go for a V5 win. Don't let me down. Waluigi in second and Army in third. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if seeing none of them on the podium though.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
You never know in D2.
Right, so have either of you got anything to add to this week's podcast?
Don't jump to start next week, Adam. Tomorrow.
Can we
That's
make
all
it
for
3
me.
in a row? Whose turn is it this week?
Oh.
Okay, let's have a bet on who's gonna jump the start. Someone's got to jump
Who's
the
going to jump
start.
start next?
Oh,
Adam.
Harry will bottle it. Somehow Harry will jump the start.
I just want to see. I just want to see Cristiano up front causing absolute mayhem because I'm going to be in the midfield. So I'm really Cristiano. If you're listening
Who
to
said
this,
safeguard didn't work in this game?
you've got full permission. Just go up front, cause some absolute mayhem.
You know, when you see that first red light go, it's real life. You're gunning for it. Okay, just go.
Yeah.
No, but other than that, probably Tom, stop pretending you're slow in time trial. It's getting really boring. You're actually really quick.
Ooh.
No,
was a
he
little
does.
shout.
Honestly. No. Tiggerby knows. He literally goes, "Oh, I can't even get in the 130s." Did you see his qualifying time?
Who's that remind you of,
128.
Sam? Who's that remind you of?
Who's that remind me of?
Jared.
What?
There.
Oh yes, in a nutshell. In a nutshell.
I'm
that's
not
Joe.
quick around this track. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, it's always frustrating seeing people say they're not quick and then they beat you. And it's like,
When you
oh,
know
come
they're
on.
quick.
I thought I had a guaranteed position here, and you've just ruined my
Yeah.
day.
You take it.
Is that what we've all done about Spain? Are we all going to podium?
Oh, that, I mean, I'm down
If I get 10,
happens.
that's like a win for me.
I think I've got more chance of getting points at Monaco than I do at Spain.
Yeah, same.
So
I have
fingers
points
crossed
at
for this
Monaco.
race. Gonna need some hurricane to hit mid-race
Rain.
if I'm gonna
Oh,
get it.
some rain would be nice.
Yeah, a bit
As
of
long as I
water.
beat Pepita, that's all I care about.
Pepita's not in the league anymore. How are you not going to
I know,
beat-
exactly. That's my only goal.
Oh, what?
So we just need to finish.
Okay, fair enough.
He beat me by 2 points last year. I was absolutely livid. So this season, that's kind of my main goal. But
Well, you've already bet him.
Well, you have
Yeah.
currently already beaten him, so I can congratulate you on that, Mark.
Well done.
thanks very much, guys.
I
Big achievement. Beating someone that's not even in the league.
I think that wraps us up nicely for this week's podcast. It's been a pleasure as always, boys. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Great crack.
So yeah, wish you every driver the best in their Spanish race. Hope for a clean race. Hope you get the finish you want. And yeah, take care, everyone.
Perfect. See you later, guys.